All right, I'm back. We don't need no introduction. I just want to go up here and just give my takes. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to say, look, if you enjoy Transformers 1, if you think it's the best Transformers movie ever other than the cartoon, then I'm happy for you. I'm glad you guys went and seen the film that you enjoyed. But to me, I didn't enjoy this film. I enjoyed the first half. I thought the first half started off very great. I like the animation style. I like the overall design of the Autobots and Decepticons. And I like the youth and innocence of D16 and Optimus Prime. So I thought all those aspects was good. I thought we was on something different. It felt different. That first hour was great. And what really changed the story for me is when they got up ground. That's when stuff just really started to fall apart for me. I thought Chris Hemsworth did a good job in the first half. So did the other guy. However, when it came down to the second half, it just sucked. He sounded like Thor. And I understand why it came across that way to me, because a lot of those guys, when they voice acting, they're editing, they're punching in certain stuff. They're not really doing that stuff freehand. It comes off freehand, like in natural when you guys hear it, but I can hear the punch ins. And from that second half of the movie, he sounded like Thor. The first half, he sounded great. Good voice acting, totally different, didn't sound like himself. Second half, he sounded like Thor for whatever reason. And that's what really took me off the movie. Another thing I did not like was the forceful heroism in this movie. And what I mean by that is, every time, like when they was in danger or they was like racing in that event, or D12 will lean over a cliff and Optimus will come over and save them, and the same vice versa. It just gave off an impression that they were just trying to force the audience that they care for each other. But I thought it was done forcefully. It wasn't done subtly, and there really wasn't no immediate danger when they was trying to save each other. From time to time, it wasn't really no immediate danger. And like, again, it just came off forceful. It didn't come off natural or subtle, and I picked up on that. Another thing I didn't like was the heavy use of CGI in this movie, especially in the last half. The CGI was really blurry in the background. Like, for a minute, I thought I was watching some of Zack Snyder's films when he does that blurring effect, because that's what that felt. That's what that seemed like, and it took me out the movie. Maybe it was something wrong with the projector at the theater, but the overuse of CGI in the background, especially the background shots, was it was just poorly executed. It looks very poor, lackluster. It looks like they didn't really polish anything up. I thought the story was just really mediocre, as far as the second half. I didn't like the fact that D16 and Optimus Prime, their friendship was based on somebody that lied to him. I thought that was a really poorly written, very poorly executed. And I didn't like the fact that Optimus Prime took a bullet from the person that had been lying to him. Like, I would have preferred D16 to just come out and just shoot Optimus Prime like he did in the cartoons. But that didn't happen here. Optimus Prime, he jumped in. Well, Orion Pax jumps in front of the guy that's been lying to him, that was about to kill him, he's trying to save him, and he takes the bullet. And I just thought that was really mediocre. I didn't like the forceful subtle of Megatron when he's trying to turn evil. He'll just do certain little things to let you know that the story is shifting. Like, he's not talking to Orion like that, or he's being like aggressive and he's telling them no and stuff like that. I just thought it was forcefully written. You know, it didn't capture my attention that second half. That second half, I was looking at my phone because I was just bored at that point. I think Chris Hemsworth did a good job in the first half, but like I said, the second half he sucked. He sounded like Thor, you know, and Chris Hemsworth suffered from the Marvel curse because he was Thor. He was in that peak of Marvel. So to me as a viewer, whatever role he plays or whatever voice he plays, he will always be Thor. And that's the same thing with Robert Downey Jr. It's going to be hard to convince me he's Dr. Doom in that movie unless he just does a whole 360 on his acting. But Robert Downey Jr., mostly those people in Marvel, they suffer from the success of Marvel because us as the audience put them in a box. And unfortunately, I didn't put Chris Hemsworth in the box as Thor. So, you know, it is what it is. Another thing I didn't like, I didn't like the overuse of the orchestrated music. It got boring. It just got boring, you guys. Like, the first half was good. It was a coming of age story about two friends. I wish the movie would have just went deeper with that relationship, and they didn't. And they just rushed through it. The second half, they friends and now they enemies, and at the end of the day, they just enemies because of a lie, and it just didn't make sense. It wasn't warranted, and it wasn't executed good for me to even care if Megatron turned evil. I just didn't care. I don't know, man. I guess this Cybertron scene will always be superior, and anything like below this, anything below the Cybertron scene will be mediocre, you guys. I'm sorry. This Cybertron scene is what I want to see. This is what the people want. I don't understand why we can't get this. This is what we want. And it's not a lot of people saying that it costs a lot of money. That's bullshit, man. It'll take a lot of work to do a full feature limb, but a full feature film. Yeah, this will take a lot of work, but it doesn't cost that much money. The reason why we won't get a film like this is because the powers that be that don't want you to have it. That's just the truth. They want you with the comedy, the standard comedy. They want Bumblebee. They made Bumblebee a fucking idiot in this movie, and I just couldn't rock with it, you guys. This is what I want from a Transformer film. I don't want any humans. I want this or better in a Transformers movie. I'm sorry, you guys. Transformers 1 is a kiddie, watered down for the movie look like it's made for toddlers, because I think kids will like this better and they'll want a full feature film like that better. And that's just my opinion. But what do you guys think? You think this doesn't cost a lot of money? It just it's going to be a lot of work, and the powers that be, they just don't want to do it. They just don't want to do it. But this is what I want from a Transformer film going forward. But that's about it, you know. But if you like the movie, I'm happy for you. It just didn't do it for me, you guys. I'd rather be honest for you, because some YouTubers, they're blowing sunshine up your ass. They say this movie is the best thing, but at the end of their video, they're saying, well, you know what, man, I just want it to be like the Cybertron scene or the Cybertron style, like in Bumblebee. So what a lot of these YouTubers saying is just blowing sunshine up your ass so they can feed your family. And I don't really blame them, but it is what it is, and it has to be said. Transformers 1 is a watered down kiddie version movie that's mediocre at best, in my opinion. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. But if you like this, what did you guys like about it? Tell me. And do you think this Cybertron full action movie, is that really hard to do? Is it really I know it's hard to do, but is it gonna cost like billions of dollars? I'll say a budget of $2 million should be able to do this film. The problem will be is just the man hours and the work. But it is what it is. Like, share your thoughts. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.